I probably went out with 200 men prior to getting married. If I want to understand men, I need to put myself in the presence of them. I need to pick their brains. I need to ask them questions.
Wow. She's a relationship coach, magnetic matchmaker, and she helps people find their purpose mate.
We're going through dating burnout. We believe that there's not enough good men and that the men that we want are already taken. And the kind of man that you want, you don't believe that you can have.
The type of man I ran into were not the type of man I feel like I wanted to be with.
I believe that you are avoiding men. And that's why every single time I come and I'm like, what's going on with your dating life? There's billions of men in this world and you ain't ran into none, not a one. What are the 5 things that you think makes you sexually attractive?
I look good.
Let's try this again.
All right, you guys, welcome back to another episode of Let's Try This Again. I am your host, b.simone. If you are watching the visual, you can see my hair is wet. I don't have no makeup on my face, and I got this beautiful mommy next to me who is just all glammed up. But y'all, let me tell y'all why. Because I am in LA, and I was up at 4:45 a.m., and I committed to working out on my trip out here to LA. And I got up. I went to the gym. I went from the gym from 6 to 5:55. Not 7, because I had to schedule an Uber to get back to this side of town to podcast. And I'm proud of myself, okay? So y'all didn't get no makeup today because my hair, I just got out the shower and this is what y'all gonna get. Natural glam, which is no glam for me. So yeah, welcome back to another episode. If you're an OG, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for loving and supporting this podcast. We are over a year into podcasting. I cannot believe it. Oh, right? Right? It's crazy. If you are new here, hi, you're going to love it here. Let's try this again. LTTA family. Join the family, the broadcast channel. Y'all, she's introduced to my audience a million times over the past couple years, and I always bring her back because she always adds value, and she just always shows up for me. She's like, what you need, B? I'm like, come be on my podcast. Come talk. Can you fly to Atlanta? She's like, girl, what you need? But she always shows up, and I just thank you for that. Spicy Marty.
I might not be on time. But I'm there when you call.
Today. You did good. You are there every single time I invite her to give her gifts to my platform or my audience or just me or text you or call. You always answer. Aww. So just thank you for showing up for me.
Thank you.
Because you really are.
That.
Yes. You're so great at what you do. You're great. And we don't have like a really, what's the word I'm looking for?
Give me a hint.
Like
we're body language,
our friendship,
taboo. Okay.
Like you know what I mean. Like we've known each other for 5 years, but we don't hang out a lot. We don't.
You are busy. Yes, we're both busy living our best
lives. But you always try to communicate. Yeah. You text me.
You're
you
really
check
good
in.
About touching base too. I feel like
I try
you're amazing with that.
Yes, try to touch base. Yeah, and you just always show up. That's what I was trying to say. Like it's
anytime
not like
I can get access to you, I will. Anytime you will make yourself available, I'm like, okay, well, let me make myself available too.
Let's go get a bite.
It ain't gonna be for another few months. So.
Yeah. She's not a new mom, but her baby is 3.
She's 3.
Yeah, Prince is 3 years old.
Learning.
Yeah,
so this is still crazy. It's still a crazy time because we're going through like the toddler stage.
Okay.
Yes.
So let me tell y'all what she does before we get into that, because I want to get into that. She's a relationship coach, magnetic matchmaker, and she helps people find their purpose mate. Has that changed over the years, or is that the same? That's how I met you. Have you evolved or grown into
helping folks find their purpose mate?
Okay.
I have moved into a lot of like the television landscape, so now I'm like coaching on TV shows and stuff. This podcast has been a blessing. So yes, I'm always on podcasts. I'm always still, and you could even say that I'm a relationship host, right? So like any relationship shows, I'm more than likely going to be there giving some advice.
I love that. Oh, so if I do a dating show again, you can be like,
absolutely,
the therapist for the dating show?
Absolutely. 1,000%. I will be there for you. When have I ever told you no?
I know. But I'm like, that would be lit. Hold on. There might be something in the works that we can throw on the app.
Hey.
Y'all check her out on the app. If you have not signed up already, oh my gosh, it's absolutely amazing. The LTTA Talk, which is the show only for the app, the LTTA app. But she's on there and she drops some gems.
I love that you never stop. You will go from like talking about something and then it's like produced within that year. Anything you put your mind to. It is so inspiring.
Thank you.
Because I'm like, I can give you a laundry list of goals that I have, but yours, like you really set your mind to it and then you manifest it and then we see it in like real time. I'm so inspired by you.
Wow.
Yes,
That means so
1000%.
much to me. Thank you. A lot of failures, but y'all take action. If you have an idea, take action. You can't just keep thinking about the same thing over and over. Take action. Even if it, I don't want to say fails, but even if it doesn't work the way you plan it or envision it, just keep trying. That's all I can do. Let's try this again. So yeah, tell me about motherhood. Where are you at right now with that? Like your baby's 3.
Do you know about motherhood?
Yeah, I do want to know because I want to be a mom one day. You're like, all right, hold your horses, don't rush.
You know, I want to find you a man.
I know.
Like, we gotta have you.
We gotta find a man first.
We gotta
get a baby.
Gotta find you a man.
I get pregnant.
But motherhood is amazing. I think that people always ask the question, like, well, what's your favorite part of it? And I feel like it has stretched me in levels of selflessness that I never thought I could reach because I operate as a pretty make sure I'm taking care of selfish person.
Really?
In the sense of I'm going to make sure my needs are always met.
Period.
Friends, family, lovers, whatever I want, make sure like my needs are met. And here comes this like amazing creature who depends on you and their needs then start to be the priority. And I feel like I see how mothers get lost in it. I see how your relationship can, be put on the back burner. And so being mindful has been like an extreme part of my like growth and development as a parent because I'm like, okay, I'm not about it to be a statistic. I'm going to make sure we're still making love. I'm going to make sure that I still make time for my friends. I'm going to and so it requires a lot of you being intentional from your health to making sure that you're still pouring into yourself, to your other relationships, because your baby can't be the only relationship that you have. You also have another partner that, needs attention. And so everything has been very intentional. After I lost myself, I found my way.
Wow.
I think you go through a period where you got to lose yourself and then you find your way.
You guys, Simply Pop has launched a new prebiotic soda. Simply Pop, the new juicy soda. There are 5 flavors, y'all. Pineapple, mango, lime, strawberry, citrus punch, and fruit punch. Made with real fruit juice, y'all. Simply Pop supports gut health with 6 grams of prebiotic fiber. And y'all know I don't play about my gut health. It has no added sugar and it's sweetened with juices, monk fruit extract. Supports immune health with zinc plus vitamin C, y'all. Simply Pop is flavor that pops. See what all the fizz is about. Simply Pop is the new juicy soda that happens when you combine that delicious real fruit flavors of Simply with 6 grams of prebiotic fiber to support that gut health, y'all. That's why Simply Pop contains the same real fruit flavors you know and love, and no added sugar makes for a soda that even a juice would drink. I personally love the citrus punch because they are literally so refreshing. And when you add 6 grams of prebiotic fiber to support gut health, I mean, come on now, y'all. Y'all know how healthy I am, and I don't play about my gut. Sip on the juice side of life. Find out where you can try Simply Pop at cokeurl.com/simplypop. Wow. How do you explain that to me? Lost yourself. Meaning what? Like, what did you feel like you lost, and how do you feel like you worked your way out of that to find who you are back your way to where you are now?
Yeah, I think it's like the basic, like the natural things that come, right? Like you're sleep deprived, you are tied to this little human, and you're breastfeeding, and my time is not my own, my schedule is not my own. Sleep is not my own. Yeah. And everybody still has their needs to be met. Like I still need to make sure like the house is running and my business is running. Yeah. And this was the first time I think that the Spicy Life, my company, was second to my first, born, my baby. And the Spicy Life was always my baby. So here comes this new baby. And I think having to be okay with that, like the Spicy Life not necessarily coming like first in this moment. Yeah. And giving myself permission to not have like the guilt of the Spicy Life, not getting as much attention because here comes, my baby needing attention. And so, but my identity for a long time was, relationships. Mm-hmm. So if I'm not like pouring into others, or I'm not coaching, or I'm not working on a new program, or I'm not on a panel speaking, it felt like I wasn't transforming the lives that I'm used to. And I never stopped working, but I pulled back a little bit. But for me, I never took maternity leave. So it was like grind. And then I looked up and I'm like, dang, I'm focused on transforming all these lives. I'm like, but the life that needs transformation right now is the baby. And so I gave myself permission to like focus on my child. And then it was, okay, now I need my cup filled up and I have to go back to like the work. And I've been full throttle.
How did it affect having a baby and going through that affect your marriage? Good, bad, indifferent? Like, how did it affect marriage life?
Girl, I think when you first get married, you're like, what did I just do? And then when you have a baby, you're like, what did I just do?
Happened?
Yeah, like what just happened?
Is happening?
Because you have this, idea, and no matter how much of an expert you are, the research, how many books you've read, how many people try to tell you, it's not until you actually are in the experience and in it. And I used to have girlfriends who, would talk so much, trash all the time. Just wait till you're a mom. Just wait. You're going to see. And I'm like, I'm not going to be like
I'm
that.
Good. I'm not going to be like y'all.
And then I was like, oh, I get it. This is why you don't feel like you have time for yourself. This is why you don't feel like you're able to work at the same capacity that you used to. And I was beating myself up. I would be like, dang, I used to be able to pull an all-nighter when I wanted to get a project done. And now I'm falling asleep with the baby at, 8 o'clock. And I would feel guilt around that. And so I think, there's this, perception that I had of what I could do. And a lot of it has been, juggling and management. But as far as my marriage is concerned, I was starting to compare who was doing the work, like more of the workload. When it came to the home, when it came to the baby. One thing that I still believe holds true, and you will see this in relationship, is as women, I believe that we do and manage twice the amount that a man does.
Naturally? Or by choice?
I think naturally. I think I think some of it is our natural like inclination to caretake and nurture. Yeah. I think the other part is socialized to take care of others, right? So I think it's like, yes, I was born with maybe a loving spirit to nurture and care for others. But then in comes mom, as I'm the oldest of 3, and she's like, now make sure your siblings eat, make sure, everybody's taken care of. We naturally then go into a relationship, making sure, everybody else's needs are met. And so in relationship, I think our lives drastically change. And yes, a man has more responsibilities, I believe, when you have a child.
Yeah. Yeah.
But as women, I think that we don't compartmentalize the way that men do. And so because everything matters to us and we want to make sure that everything feels and looks a certain way, we take on things that men don't necessarily need. They don't
care about.
Yeah. We'll even say care. Like, I would see his priorities versus mine, and I'm like, dang, but like, he's got to have the cocoa butter on, his face. And he's like, he'll be fine if he goes to school without cocoa butter today. Like, there's just these things that like I trip over more.
Okay.
And things that I feel like I'm managing more. I feel like when we have our child, our schedules change, but also as women, like our bodies change, and my work changed, and so there's all these things that are transforming at once. Whereas, like, I feel like for my partner, he has maybe more people added to his list of like the responsibilities that he was already doing, but he's not managing and juggling as much.
Okay.
So there was some talks, lots of talks that we've had to have. I had to go back to therapy. I had to like do all the things because I'm like, what is going on in my marriage right now?
I love that because you're saying like even though you're a professional in this field, you're like, I still have a life. I'm still a human. And there's still things that I have to work through every stage of my life.
Yes.
I love that.
It helped me relate to my clients more because there would be, like textbook information that I would be giving about like child rearing and, what to do in your marriage when a child comes. And now I'm like, oh no, I'm actually like living it now. And I understand why you want to like stab him. Right. So it's like, so I think it helped me on even a more empathetic level.
Understanding.
Yeah. I'm understanding parents more. I'm understanding parents married. I'm understanding even more of like the challenges that come with single parenting, because not only was I raised what I wanted, but I can also understand now insight into what could be missing in your household when you don't have these certain elements. Now that there's these new levels that I've reached.
Yeah. This episode is brought to you by Glorify, the #1 Christian daily devotional app. Are you feeling overwhelmed, anxious, anxious, disconnected? You guys, Glorify offers Christ-centered tools to help you navigate life's challenges with calming meditations, uplifting prayers, and practical wisdom from God's Word. When life feels hectic, Glorify helps you slow down. Start your day with peace through daily devotionals or wind down with scripture-based reflections and sleep meditations. Are you struggling to stay grounded? Where Glorify brings peace, hope, and God's presence right to your phone. It's your spiritual reset anytime, anywhere. You can journal your prayers, reflect with guided meditations, and even explore courses designed to deepen your understanding of scripture and help you grow in your faith. With Glorify, you can start your morning by reading the Bible passage of the day, diving into Glorify's daily devotional, and wrapping up with an immersive experience called Daily Walk with God. And if you need to take a few moments to yourself in the middle of a busy day, try one of Glorify's guided meditations or listen to their curated worship playlist for some quiet reflection. To end the day, enjoy Glorify's sleep meditations to help you wind down and put your mind and heart at ease. Whether you're a committed Christian or simply curious about faith, the Glorify app has something for you. Join over 20 million people who have downloaded the Glorify app and deepened their relationship with God. I love the guided meditations because they help me get centered and away from the crazy world. They bring me to my peaceful place so I can spend intentional, uninterrupted time with God. Visit glorify-app.com/trythisagain right now to download the Glorify app for free. That's glorify-app.com/trythisagain to download the Glorify app for free. Glorify-app.com/trythisagain. And we're gonna get to me. Y'all, I know y'all like, okay, is she gonna do Magnet? Yeah, we're gonna get to me being single, okay?
We gotta talk about
gonna
that.
be my relationship coach on the mic. Okay, y'all gonna hear it. I'm gonna be vulnerable because y'all already know I ain't got no man. But you said something that I want to go back to. You said I get my needs met.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about that years ago. I remember you being like, it don't matter the why.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care about the why. Like, I just need it to be done.
Yes.
I don't care about what behind it, whatever. I just need you to do it. Explain that concept to me. Because I still struggle with the why.
Okay.
Like, explain, like, you're like, my needs are being met, but like, I care about if the person wants to do it or not. And you're like, she's like, it doesn't matter. Like, if they do it and show up, that makes me happy. I'm fine with that. But I'm like, the intent behind it, like the heart posture behind it, like, I still battle with that. So explain that concept to our listeners and they'll get more perspective on what I'm trying to say. Because you know what I'm talking about.
I do know what you're talking about. So what B is saying and what she is talking about is my philosophy around like closed mouths don't get fed.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't self-advocate, if you don't speak up, if you don't ask for what you need, you will starve.
Period.
Because we expect people to be mind readers. We expect people to just know us so well and to understand. And if you've studied me and you've researched, you should be able to satisfy this thing. You should be able to know what I'm thinking. And if I do this thing, you should also do that thing. You guys are living in La La Land. With that kind of thinking, you are allowing others to determine your fate.
Okay.
Based on the information that they have. If they don't have the proper information, because you haven't communicated your needs will go unmet.
Okay.
So when I say my needs, those could be from emotional support. Those could be from time spent. Those can be from what I want from my birthday. That could be from a back rub. That can be from an experience that I would like to have with you. Essentially, if we break it down, like that could be the 5 love languages, right? Whatever your love language is, if you don't tell the person what that is, and this is what it looks like with you giving it to me,
mm-hmm.
then the person doesn't know how to show up for you.
Mm-hmm.
And so oftentimes we leave, the fate of our happiness to somebody else predicting what that would look like versus communicating. And for you, for being particular, she's big on intent. She wants the person to want to do it with all their heart, with their motivation to make her happy, and for them to be in the mood to do the thing that drives her wild. Reason why that is so sweet and makes you so lovable.
The reason why it's not realistic. Look, she's looking at the camera. The reason why that's bullshit
I think that feel good is amazing, right? I want to applaud the actual femininity of that, right? Because what she wants is someone to have the intuition and the and to match the intuition with, you know, taking action, the inclination to provide and to do the things that you think that they should be doing. But you do it across the boards when it comes to like family, friends, everyone.
Right.
You want everyone to just naturally like want to do it. And so that will stop you dead in your tracks from getting your needs met. Because if we do it based on how the person feels, and emotions are temporary, emotions are fleeting.
Come on.
Emotions can be a roller coaster ride and very temperamental. Folks won't show up for you.
Okay.
Stuff will not get done.
Okay.
Okay. If we depended on
our feelings,
the feelings of, let's say, your production company here to show up today, and they have permission to not show up because it didn't naturally come to them to want to show up, you wouldn't have a podcast.
Period.
So we have to override those feelings and say, okay, what's in the best interest of the goal? The goal for the podcast, the goal for my lover, the goal for my child. And so because I'm very goal-driven and you are actually goal-driven when it comes to career, but when it comes to your personal life, it's more emotional for you. You actually compartmentalize that very differently. I do it across the board. I'm like, I'm going to ask for everything I want in every department. And you're like, well, no, in this department, I'm not going to ask for what I want. But in this department, I will. And so I prioritize the impact of getting what I want more than it intuitively coming to someone. So
give me an example of that in your marriage. Like, it could be as simple as a birthday gift or a back rub or like all the things you listed. Like, just give me an example.
Okay. So we'll make this very simple. My husband is in finance, so he counts every single dollar. So I know when birthday comes, I get my, let's say, big ticket item, as I call it. But he doesn't feel like spending the big ticket item money because it doesn't make sense in his mind based on the return on investment.
Okay.
It's not a logical choice in me wanting, let's say, this bag that I just got.
Okay.
So if he doesn't feel like it and he doesn't think it makes sense and he doesn't feel like going to the store, he doesn't feel like looking for the item that I may want. If I tell him, don't worry about it because you don't feel like doing it, you don't want to get me something. So unless you are dying to get it for me, I don't want it. I'm not gonna get it. He's gonna be like, bet, makes sense. Thank you for getting on my
Thank you for understanding me.
Yes, he would think I actually made a smart choice. But because I like the way that the bag makes me feel, or I want a certain look with my outfit, or I feel like I'm due, for a little makeover, and I want this particular item. I have to advocate in that sense of like, well, here. So what I did was I called him and I was like, guess what? You will never guess what I just found. I got like I'm in the Burberry store, and you will never guess what I just got this bag for. Guess how much this bag is gonna be? And he was like, $3,000. And I was like, no, it's on sale right now for $700. You are such in luck. I just saved you so much money on my birthday gifts. And he is like, you don't need this gift. I'm like, no, it's such a great deal. We're not going to get this opportunity again. Like, I'm actually like selling him on it's a birthday gift, and I'm selling him on the birthday gift because it doesn't make sense to him and he doesn't feel like doing it.
Yeah.
But I don't care. I'm going to ride for myself anyways.
Okay.
And I'm going to get the bag.
Okay.
I just need him to consent. That's all I got to get is a consent.
Okay.
But somebody else would be in their feels and walk away without the bag. Somebody else would be like, why is he being so extra? Why does he not want to do this? Why is he being so stubborn? Well, that's his personality. That's what I signed up for. I'm just pulling the strings to figure out how to manage that energy so that I can get that
what you need,
yeah,
and what you want,
and being and feeling attractive and looking attractive is important to me. So yes, that's a need. So in that sense, right? And you guys might think this is like a superficial, materialistic thing, but I have to do this with everything from what school my son goes to, from everything is somewhat of a negotiation, and I'm okay with that because that's what I signed up for. Someone like you would have left my husband. Like, you would have been like, I'm out. He don't want to do nothing. Okay. He doesn't want to do nothing.
But maybe that comes with emotional intelligence and knowing how to, like you said, dance with your The Way of the Superior Man.
Yes.
The book you put me on.
Yes.
It's one of the best books I've ever read in my life. I literally play the audio all the time when I have time. And I try to retain the information because I can read a whole book and people be like, what is it about? I'll be like, it was so good.
You just gotta read it.
It was so
you just
good.
gotta
Like
read
in the moment I get it, but I don't remember what I'm reading. But dancing with your partner, knowing how to dance with your partner, that was in the book. I remember that.
Yes.
Yeah, and she put me onto that book. You guys get it. The Way of the Superior Man. She encourages all women to read it, not just men.
For sure.
But it's so good. But I think that's what you're describing, like dancing with your partner and having emotional intelligence to know how to get your need met.
Yes.
But not, like letting emotions take over. He don't want to do it.
And that's essentially what will happen, right? So a big part of what I advocate for dating and relationships is understanding yourself, your emotions, self-management, so then you can manage somebody else. And that's essentially what dating is. It's just energy management. How is my energy going to show up and how am I going to manage your energy in reaction to me? And so if I can't manage my own energy, I'm going to go crazy when you test me, when you challenge me, when you do something I don't like, when you push against it. But if I can manage my energy, now I can be present, I can be calm, I can direct you, I can guide you, I can make you feel like it's all your idea. I can make you think that I'm brilliant. What if I can manage my energy? I'm way more in control of managing yours.
Fire. That's cold. You are so good at that. How do I learn that? I've known you for 5 years and I haven't mastered it because I'm not practicing.
Okay.
I don't have anyone to practice with matching my energy. I'm just around my sister all the time. Like, you get on my nerves, nigga. Like, I'm not practicing with anyone.
I think you have the awareness component, right? So,
okay. Yes.
Just for those who may not be familiar with me and have been your coach, SPICY stands for self, passion, intimacy, communication, and learning to say yes. So self is the most important part. I think that you really do know yourself. I think you are extremely self-aware.
Okay.
And you have a clear understanding of yourself.
Okay.
I think the part that you haven't tapped into enough because of lack of experience is managing somebody else. I think like you understanding how someone else, how to pivot and how to do that dance with others, which is essentially like why you came to me in the first place, because you were like, I got this relationship.
Yeah.
I want to like make sure I don't mess it up because he's doing some things.
Yeah.
And I think that was important because you sought out help because you knew like, okay, this is a department where I want to be stronger.
Better. Yeah.
And so when it comes to getting better at it, it looks like you dating more. It looks like if I want to understand men, I need to put myself in the presence of them. I need to pick their brains. I need to ask them questions. That is dating.
You need to study.
And so
I'm like,
when you're doing that dance, you're able to see, okay, I like the way that this man responds when I do this. I like the way that this man, does it. Like, and that's why we say it's dancing, because when you have a different dance partner, they're able to dip you, they're able to pull you, they're able to bring you in, and you're able to say, okay, I like the way that this person leads me.
You see what you like. Do I like hip hop? Do I like salsa? Do I like crumping? I will never like crumping.
First off.
I will never like a man to dance crump. So just know that.
He did start crumping.
If you started crumping, that was just an analogy.
All you gotta do is go on a date with someone in North Hollywood. They will be in the grocery store, you danced for Chris Brown one time.
Get out of my face. What you doing now?
They got a whole two-step. Yes, a whole routine. Like Candace was teaching us. They got the whole routine going.
This show is sponsored by Liquid IV. You guys, I'm so excited about a trip I'm taking this month. I'm going to Bali, baby, and I'm packing all my cute summer dresses, my skincare products, and of course, I can't forget my Liquid IV. I need it so bad when traveling because I have to stay hydrated. Liquid IV is the perfect secret to staying hydrated all summer long. They've just launched an exhilarating new flavor, Arctic Raspberry. Plus, Liquid IV has sugar-free solutions powered by Live Hydroscience for smart hydration. Visit liquidiv.com and use code b.simone at checkout for 20% off of your first order. Tell them I sent you. Y'all, I just love how the packets are so easy to tear. You just pour into a glass of water or a bottle of water. I'm so excited knowing Liquid IV will help keep me hydrated as I travel and as I'm going to all these summer destinations. You guys, this product is perfect for you, whether you're going to be out in the heat, playing sports, or just trying to make sure you're hydrated throughout the summer. It's so important, you guys. I absolutely love the lemon lime flavor and the white peach, but all of them are phenomenal. You can find all their best hydrating multiplier flavors online. Plus, discover even more fun flavors like cotton candy or popsicle firecracker. Just one stick and 16 ounces of water hydrates way better than water alone. It has 3 times the electrolytes of leading sports drinks. It has 8 essential vitamins and nutrients, plus it's always non-GMO, vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, and soy-free. No matter what your summer brings, tear, pour, live more. Go to liquidiv.com and get 20% off your first order with code b.simone at checkout. That's 20% off your first order with code b.simone at liquidiv.com.
Okay, so learning how to dance with your man.
Why are we not practicing the dating element, right? So like, that's the part that I do want to understand. I think that you do know who you are, and we'll break down who you believe yourself to be, but why are you not putting yourself out there?
And you literally ask me this question every time you see me.
Because it has not changed.
I don't know. I'm stuck. Okay, so I was like, okay, I literally did this maybe 6 months ago. I hit up my friend. I was like, okay, cool. Like, for me to date, I have to put myself out there. Let's get dressed up. Let's go to the Ritz-Carlton and let's go to the bar and we had this. It was such a fail. It was.
Why was it a fail?
I guess it wasn't a fail because I tried, but it was a fail because all married men walked up to me.
Okay.
Which I was like, okay, I'm still practicing conversation. Yes. Like, we don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to be disrespectful. Yes. Like, obviously, it wasn't like they were like, okay, I'm going to cheat on my wife tonight. But I would see a ring and I'd be like, well, this isn't going anywhere. Yeah. But I can practice talking to a man, right? So, and it was just like, the type of man I ran into were not the type of man I feel like I wanted to be with. Like, a lot of them were drunk. It was late. I was like, but I'm also in these environments. I literally put myself in an environment of the nightlife. So that was partly my, I guess, fault too. Because it's like, well, why would you go there? But I didn't know where else to go.
You went to a hotel? Did you go to a club?
A hotel, the bar at the hotel, and then a lounge after.
Okay. So
I was trying to practice. And I went home like, ooh, I could put my robe on. I was like, I am so happy to be home. I washed my face. I put on my rose oil and I was rubbing my feet together.
Okay.
I was like, I will never do this again.
You had it right.
I tried.
It was not a fail because you put yourself out there. You practiced. I don't care if it was married men. You were in the proximity of space of masculinity.
Energy.
And that is extremely important. I think just that effort tells the universe, like, look, here I am.
Okay.
But what happens is because you didn't get what you deemed as success or how you define success, which is going home with or getting a number.
Like, finding my husband tonight.
Finding someone. You're like, well, okay, I did that. And now I'm, rubbing my feet together in the bed like a little grasshopper. And I'm done. I did my thing.
Yeah.
And so you have to do that
a million times.
A ton of times.
Just like I do with my businesses. Just like I start over all the time.
Yeah,
just
you
like
say, let's try this again for everything except for relationships.
Oh my God.
So that's what I'm saying. You look at your relationship life and in your personal life, and I understand it's personal, but it's not until it's personal. And what I mean by that is like all these dudes that you are meeting are strangers. They are strangers. They have not invested in you. You haven't invested in them. You are making point of contact and touching base with them as an investment in yourself. But they are not pouring into you and investing in you. So you owe them nothing. They owe you nothing as well because they are strangers. And all you are trying to do is touch energies to see, okay, whose energy do I like? Who can I make a connection with? And even in situations when you run into married men, I don't know if they're flirting with you and hollering at you or whatever, they're just being friendly. But there's still things to be learned in that experience.
For sure.
You know what? I'm so grateful that my husband isn't going to flirt with men while women while they're married. Or I'm so appreciative that, this, married man is a sharp dresser and knows how to speak and be friendly without, hitting on women. There's things that you can be taking away from that your, mind can be downloading.
Okay.
And subconsciously you will start to paint what it is that you believe would be good for you. But but in the present time, like, you have to not give up and you have to appreciate it. If you're going into it without, and I think that's what's going on right now, right? We can even talk about this dating, what I would call, I wouldn't call it a dating deficit. I would say that we are going through dating burnout because we believe that there's a deficit.
Okay,
I think that we believe that there's not enough good men, and that the men that we want are already taken, and the kind of man that you want, you don't believe that you can have. So because you start to believe that he's not out there, you do less. You start behaving in a way that actually manifests that. You make less contact, less communication, and you stop building relationships with men, and you shut down and you focus back on work. We've gone through this like a million bajillion times. Because when you pour into your work, there's always a return for you. And when there's not, you will, let's try this again. And with dudes, you take it as like, well, I'm not that great at this. I don't know what's wrong with me. You know, I did my best.
I'm not sexy.
I'm not sexy.
Yeah.
I'm not, I'm not as funny as I thought. Or maybe I am too funny. Like, you'll start to get in your head about it.
Yeah.
And you won't try it again. So every 6 months when I see you and I'm asking for updates, there aren't any because you did not try it again. You tried it one time within the 6 months of me seeing you. And so if we're playing this like as a numbers game, you ain't about to hit the lotto anytime soon because you ain't playing enough tickets. Like, you aren't doing it. You aren't bidding any numbers. You aren't doing it. And there's something holding you back from that. And I am under the belief now that you don't want it that bad. You don't want it bad enough to actually do the work that comes with it. Wow. So for my daters out there, a lot of people want love. We want companionship. We want to be with our purpose mate. We want partnership. But want is great. I care about the willing. Are you willing to do what it takes in order to get that, right? Because once you get into a relationship, there's a lot more challenges that come up. I'm going through them, and as intelligent as I believe myself to be, or as aware, I'm going to have challenges in my marriage and in my parenting.
And how long have you been married?
My husband's gonna kill me 8 years.
Okay. How long have y'all been together?
Maybe don't watch this episode. 10 years. We've been together 10 years.
That's amazing. Okay.
Yes, that's right. 10 years.
Great.
8 years married.
Okay.
And so the challenges are going to come up. In relationship, though, if I decide that he's made a mistake and I'm not going to try this again, now we're getting a divorce because I've trained myself to not try again when it comes to my romantic relationships because I'm offended by something he did or he hurt my feelings. You're going to hurt each other's feelings. That's going to happen. You're going to get your feelings hurt. But if I operate from the policy of I'm going to try this again no matter what and work through this, but that is program. You have to practice that. I built
emotional
that in dating.
Resilience.
I probably went out with 200 men prior to getting married. I can't even count how many times I experienced that. But I also experienced more rejection than you.
I love that, though.
You won't give yourself permission for the rejection. Why?
I don't know.
They're strangers.
I'm really trying to have this breakthrough moment right now. I'm like, why do I not? I don't know. But like you said, but I do want it.
Okay, first you're going to tell me who you believe yourself to be. So we're going to do the pizza for what you want so that we can help others when it comes to their dating. Okay. But we're going to do the pizza for yourself first.
Okay.
So you guys are probably very familiar with my pizza, but you have new people, so I'm gonna break it down really quick. The pizza is a exercise that I give my clients. The crust, sauce, toppings is what makes a delicious pizza. The crust are the 5 ingredients that you need for you to believe that they are a good person, the good human being. This sauce this is what I need in order to feel loved. This is how I need to be treated in order to fall in love with this person. So that's the treatment. The toppings, this is what I need in order to be sexually attracted to this person and take my clothes off, get butt naked, let him inside me. So before you can even work on trying to manifest your pizza and the person that you want, you need to be clear on who you are, right? I told you spicy at the beginning with self. So you're going to tell me who you are as far as the pizza is concerned. Give me the 5 things that make you a good human, B. What makes you dope? Tell me what makes you a good person.
Empathetic.
Okay.
I say pure heart? Or no, that's like too generic.
What is pure heart?
Okay.
What is that? What did you mean by
that? Like pure intent.
So intentional?
Yeah. No. Not intentional. I am intentional, I feel like. But no, that's not what I'm trying to say. So empathetic.
You can't just call yourself a good person. You need to tell the qualities of a good person.
Right. I was like, that's too generic. Empathetic.
What else makes you a good person?
Oh my gosh. I hate doing this. See, this is why I'm like, I don't know. I'm just, see, no.
No, you
stay in the
need to
moment.
stay
And
in
I know, stay in it.
Think through it.
Think. Use your mind.
They'll edit out the dead time.
I know. I'm like, cut this out. We're going to move to empathetic. I'm going to just list it in order. Who are you? Empathetic.
What else makes you dope? If I were to ask your friends right now, what would they say? Who do you believe yourself to be?
Respectful, hardworking.
Okay, so empathetic, respectful, hardworking. That makes you a good person?
No, hardworking doesn't make you a good person.
Is that your truth? Because
I don't think just because you're hardworking, you're a good person.
I don't know if I believe that about you, because can you respect and appreciate someone who doesn't work hard? Will you think they're a good person?
Would I?
Yeah, will you think they're a good person? Like they don't work hard at all. They just live in their lives. Will you still believe them to be a good person?
You're a procrastinator. You're lazy. You don't have.
So you think a good person is hardworking?
Okay.
Go ahead. I want you to own it.
Okay.
And that's what we need to do. Own these qualities. So if you think that empathetic, hardworking, and what was the other one you said?
Empathetic, hardworking. I don't know what I said about myself. Run the tape. Respectful.
Empathetic, hardworking. You believe yourself to be respectful.
Yes.
Okay. What else? Give me 2 more things that make you a good person.
Empathetic, hardworking, respectful. Character. Good character. No.
What?
See, what is good character?
Identify what you believe makes you dope.
My love for people.
Okay, so
Like
you're a lover?
That's caring. Yeah, a lover.
Do you love people?
I do.
Okay. Without them having to do anything for you, you just naturally love people.
Yes, like I care about people.
Okay, so loving. We'll put loving, and then what's the fifth one?
Like, who are you? The fifth one. Respectful, loving, caring,
Empathetic, and
hardworking.
I want you guys to understand that as hard it is for B even to come up with this, when you do it for yourself, you're going to be like, dang, this is hard for me too. But this is important.
It is.
Because
it is.
You don't know who is showing up when you went to that hotel lounge to go meet somebody.
For sure.
Who is showing up.
For sure. And like knowing, like I should know. Like you said.
Own
who I am.
Are.
Yeah. But I also think it's hard for me to say good things about myself.
That's problematic. This is going to turn into a session.
I know.
Let me go. Let me get a look.
But not because it's.
So humility, is that the fifth one?
Goes back to the validation thing. Like wanting people to not think that I think I'm better than them.
Okay.
So I think I struggle with that. I'm working through it.
Are we humble or do we just want to appear humble?
No, I feel like I'm humble.
Okay. You are humble.
I really
do not think you're better than anybody?
No.
Okay. So is humility our fifth one? You think that's what makes a good person? Clearly, because you think you're a good person because you don't want people to think that you're better than them. Are these the 5 things? You can change it up.
I'll change it later.
Okay.
Let me just think about this.
So, now we know you're a good person.
I'm like, are those really my 5 things? Like, what would you have said about me?
I do
knowing me for 5 years.
I do.
6 years.
I agree with the humility. I doubled down on the hardworking because I do believe that you are driven and attracted to hardworking people, which means if you are attracted to hardworking people, lazy people are unattractive to you. So
okay.
So I agree with all of the things that you said. Empathetic, wholeheartedly.
Okay.
I think that you also extremely supportive. I would also describe you as a good person because you're supportive.
Okay.
I think that you are encouraging. I also think that you are nurturing. So we started off this conversation talking about how you like touch base. I think that you are willing to pour into someone. I also think, though, that you have a lot on your plate. So if when we communicate, we didn't reach out and tell each other what we need, and we just expected those things, our needs would not get met. But I think that you know that you have permission to do that with me because that's how I operate with you.
Yes.
So you're comfortable with closed mouths not getting fed. My philosophy with me. But I want us to move to the next part of the sauce. Okay. So,
but to round that off before you go, I think it's like you said, owning and knowing who you are.
Yeah.
Like like not letting other people it goes back to the validation thing. She's this, she's that. No, I know I'm empathetic. I know I'm hardworking. I know I'm these things, and not letting outside voices make me second guess that.
And here's why you have to. I'm gonna double down on what you just said. It is imperative that you own those qualities
100%.
Because when you get in relationship, and we don't know if it's a healthy relationship, but when you get in relationship or friendship, whoever you wind up connecting with, an employer, when they tell you you are not those 5 things,
you have to know you are.
You have to override what they just said and own it anyways. Because a man's gonna come along, I'll just use relationship because that's when it gets a little, we get a little weak, can come along and be like, you're not empathetic and you're not humble and and make you feel like you are not those things so you will try even harder to show and prove that's who you are because you want to be seen through a certain lens.
Yep.
And he will use that. If he is not a good person, he will use that against you. Okay.
As manipulation.
He will be, you're not supportive. You aren't caring. And then you're going to be like, well, let me check it out a little bit more today to try to prove this to you. If I can only just get you to see me in this light, in the lens that I see myself. And you will be second guessing yourself if you don't own it.
Okay.
So the same way that can happen in a relationship, when you walk into that hotel room, lounge, and lounge, and you're talking and engaging with these men, they are testing to see if you are those 5 qualities.
Okay.
Is she a good person? Is she empathetic? Is she caring? Is she hard work? Like, they will be able to pick up on that energy if you own it, and they will also be able to tell if you don't
you're not
own
confident.
it.
If you don't believe it. Because of outside voices.
That infiltrate every single day.
Wow, this is a breakthrough for me. Yeah.
They infiltrate every single day.
It's still battling with that, what people think about me and validation that I've been working through and been very public about on this platform for the past year. And I've gotten better, but this is like a whole nother breakthrough. Like even you telling me to say who I am, I should be like, I'm but this one person said I didn't show up in this way, and this one that's a them problem.
Yeah.
I know I'm supportive. I know I'm empathetic. I know I'm a good friend.
Yeah.
I know I'm these things. So yes. Yes to all that. This is beautiful. It's like, don't cry. Why are you about to cry? Because this is good. This is great. I love this. It's challenging me.
Now you're gonna give me the sauce.
Okay.
The treatment. How do you treat the people who you love?
How do I treat them?
Yeah, because the pizza that we did before was on what you wanted, and we'll do that again. But right now we're going to do, how do you show up for this? How do you treat people that you love? And this applies across the board. We're doing a very big one in the sense of not just lovers, but like, how do you show up for loved ones? What do you do to make someone feel loved?
I feel like I'm an affirmer. Like communication.
Okay.
I try to have great communication, see how they're feeling. I take accountability if I've offended or, I'm pretty quick to apologize and take accountability if I made somebody feel some type of way. So communication.
Okay.
Communication and affirmation. I know that's like a big one for me.
Okay. So I'm going to say affirmation and conflict resolve.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
What's the next one?
How do I treat somebody that I love? That's maybe communication. I'm gonna say try to understand their point of view. That's the same thing I just said, right?
Give me behaviors. So I want to be clear about the sauce.
Okay.
I want, what does that look like? So it's one thing to say, I'm thoughtful. It's another thing to say, I'm thoughtful because if you forget something at the house, I will drive 30 minutes to bring it to you. Like, I want to hear the examples of how you are those things. So you told me why you communicate and pour in, because you'll take accountability with conflict resolve.
So supportive.
Okay.
Like people I love, I will support their businesses, support their ideas, their visions.
What does support look like?
Showing up to their events if they have a brand,
okay,
or promoting their brand, or even investing in their brand.
Okay, so
my time, investing.
Okay, so investing is important in order for somebody to feel loved. What else?
Investing. I do for people that I love? Who are you, Braylon? You know this. You've been in your body for 34 You've been in the same body for 34 years. Jesus Christ, who am I? Wow, this makes you think, though. It's like, do I do that? How do I do that? How do I show up? Okay. Communication. How do I show up for people that I love? I'm like, this trickles down back to communication, but I try to show up in their love language. I had these conversations recently, where I'm affirming, but I affirm because I love affirmation.
Yeah.
So what do you need from me? So I try to show up differently. I mean, for them, the way they want to receive love.
Yeah.
So I'm intentional about that. Intentional. Did I say that? Was that the second one?
You did not say intentional. You tried to use that as what makes you a good person, but intentional. So the challenge with intentional is what's the treatment behind it. So your intent is what you would like to see happen, right?
But what are you doing?
What's the motivation behind it?
Okay.
But to put that into action, what does that look like? I need to hear what the behavior is.
Intentionally showing up in the way they want to receive it, not just the way I want to give it.
Okay, so I'm hearing provider. So you will provide whatever love language it is that they are saying. So
yes,
providing is important to you.
Provider.
Okay, and then is that 4? Do we need one more?
That was 4.
Give me one more.
It's like that was 2. One more. Who am I?
How do you show love? How do you show it? What do you give?
What's empathy?
You use that as what makes a good person.
I can't. Why can't
and I don't want your empathy.
Roll over? Oh, it's sympathy. I understand. Understanding.
Why are you choosing sympathy?
Because I'm imagining situations where I've loved people, and like if they're crying, I'm holding them and saying, "I got you. I understand."
Okay. So you're like, it's okay. I feel sorry for you. Here I am.
No, not I feel sorry. You all right, girl? This is sad. No.
I'm gonna toss you one that I believe about you. You can disagree with me or not. This is my perception. I'm going to say problem solving.
Oh yeah.
If I come to
I'm
you,
solution based for sure.
Doesn't matter who it is, right? Because I have privy into past relationships that you've had. You will find a way. You will figure it out. If I'm like, I stub my toe, you'll be like, here goes a Band-Aid. Or if I'm like, I need $10,000. Here you go.
Not no more. Hey, that's old me. I'll be like, oh, let's pray.
Or if I'm just like, I don't know how to develop this idea, you'll be like, oh, let me break it on down for you. Or let me introduce you to the people who can.
Solving.
I could complain about anything. I need some cream in my coffee. Where's the cow? Let's churn some milk.
But you see how quick you did that? And when you said problem solving, I'm like, oh yeah, but why could I not think of that?
Because I think to affirm yourself, like in order for you to verbalize it, I think it requires you to essentially be pleased with yourself and affirm yourself and compliment yourself. And because you believe that humility is so important, you don't want to praise yourself in real time. So there's some blockage around that. I don't want to say that it's because you don't know yourself, because I do believe that you do. I think there are some people
like
who
you
can't
can list
answer
10 things right now, and I could be like, yes, 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 no, 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 yes. But for me to, why is it so freaking difficult for me to verbalize that? I'm sitting here thinking about who I am. And like you said, there is something like, I'll think of words and I'll be like, no, maybe I don't. Well, this person might not think I was that, or it's just like a mental war.
Yeah.
For me to verbalize that. You were like problem solving. I'm like, yeah, I'm a solution-based person for sure. Like I didn't have to think about it when you said it, but I'm over here about to bite my nails. Like nerve-wracking. I'm sweating.
So I think also too, because I'm like making you, think in real time, like, hey, talk about yourself.
Yeah.
And you love to talk. But when it comes to like the self-praise, not so much. And I'm like, I know you read your daily affirmations.
100%.
But I think sometimes it's just like being put in the moment and having to, articulate it.
It's a mental thing.
Yeah, but there's some deeper blockers there. Okay. But the challenge with when I ask you what makes you a good person and what does love look like for you? You are going into all these different environments not owning that. And like that's the problem that I have, and which is why I want people to own it. Because with rejection, right? With you feeling like you didn't have success this day meeting someone, or maybe you hollered at a dude and he was like, nah, I'm married, I'm sorry. You will be like, that's okay. Because
I know
these are the 5 things in my crust you're missing out on, and these are the 5 things in my sauce you're missing out on. God bless your wife or your girl or, whoever else you're more attracted to, maybe even. But I know that this is what I have to provide.
Period.
So you are more confident in who is showing up and
knowing who you are.
Yeah, and knowing who you are and what you're bringing. What are the 5 things that you think makes you sexually attractive? That's the top things.
Does it have to be the way I look? My personality?
Okay, what about your personality? It is supposed to be physical.
Okay. I'm like, look at me. Don't want to say I'm beautiful.
My personality.
I'm like, I'm funny. No, you're fine. I look good.
There you go.
That's nerve-wracking.
What makes you beautiful?
My smile.
Okay.
I like my smile.
Pretty smile. You'll say I have a pretty smile.
A pretty smile.
I have
a pretty smile.
Okay.
I have
a nice tongue?
Maybe.
You just wiggle that. So like maybe that's what is it?
I like my shape, even though I don't have hips and stuff. Like I like my body.
Okay.
I love my body. I like my body.
Nice body.
I have a nice body. My smile, my body. Look, overthinking. Like, you're gonna go viral for colorism. I like my skin tone.
You can like your skin tone. I don't care what y'all say. Look,
oh my God, that is the devil. Y'all do not let the enemy take over your mind.
I'm sorry.
Just love yourself.
You have permission to love yourself. We're not going to reject ourselves.
Oh my God, she loves her skin tone. Look, Jesus.
So
my skin tone.
Okay.
I love my skin.
Your skin is
I love when I'm
beautiful,
tan.
it's glowy.
I got really tan and Turks. My skin, my smile, my body. Shut up. I like my eyebrows.
Okay.
They're thick. I have thick eyebrows.
Okay. Someone's gonna see your eyebrows and be like, "Ooh, I want to hit that."
She got nice eyebrows.
Okay.
A little hairy.
You do have nice brows, though. I'm trying to grow mine out like yours.
And something physical. My lips.
Okay.
I love
you
my
do
lips.
have beautiful lips.
Thank you.
Okay. That shouldn't be that hard once again.
How was the physical features faster than the internal, which is more important? I'm like, my lips, my eyebrows, I love my body, and my skin tone. Like, what?
Okay. But yes, to your point though, the toppings is actually easier because we look at it every day where we don't look within every day. So it is going to be a little more challenging than the crust and sauce.
Okay.
And we're more critical of our external. And so you are, which you guys, I want you to like pay attention to. It's very noticeable and obvious that while I'm asking B these questions, I'm like, tell me these qualities. There's so much internal noise going on.
Yep.
And the internal noise is the psychological noise that she's dealing with.
Yep.
The noise of outside perception.
Yep.
What are people going to think?
What have people said
about me? How are people
going
to receive me? So as you're trying to tell yourself positive things and share with me positive things and share with everybody positive things, you're battling, oh my God, what is the shade room going to say? Oh my God, what's going to be in the comments for Spirit Word? World Star. People Magazine, TMZ.
Yep. Are people going to think Are people going to think I'm
Look at what
cocky?
you're up against.
Are people
going to
fighting against? I know. I've been working through this for a long time. Like the validation of, because when I'm in spaces like that are going to be projected onto the internet, I'm confident. Like I can show up as myself. But like when I get here, I'm like, validation. And it's because I've been broken down so much on the internet that, it bothered me. So I had to work through getting off the internet and not letting outside perception define who I am. I'm aware of that.
That because you are so empathetic, that, right, which is what makes you a good person, plays into it as well. Oh my God, I hurt someone. Oh my God, I offended someone. Oh my God,
100%.
People are affected.
Or people
oh my
think
God,
I'm a bad person.
Yes. So there's all of this noise that's going on. So your internal noise is affected by the external noise.
Yeah.
You are literally up against that every single day, but you're also up against that in your dating life.
Yes.
So if all that noise is going on, when you come into the presence of men, they feel that noise with you.
The energy. No confidence.
1,000%.
Yeah. Boldness, confidence.
And so because you don't want that to be seen, I
run from it.
believe you avoid men. I believe that you are avoiding men. And that's why every single time I come and I'm like, what's going on with your dating life?
Same position.
There's billions of men in this world and you ain't ran into none, not a one. It's easier for you to throw yourself into your work and to not experience the real intimate, like in-person judgment. So you'll avoid the interpersonal connection with them. Because you're like, well, let me just produce projects. Let me just like give the people what they love.
Wow.
Let me just pour into like my purpose, which is extremely important.
Yeah.
But because you're not showing up purposeful in your dating life, you aren't going to connect with your purpose mate.
Wow.
You can be working on your purpose all day long, but if you're avoiding the opposite sex, what are we doing?
It's not going to happen.
Yeah. So there is some confidence stuff there going on. I do believe
that we need to work on.
Yeah, 1,000%. I believe that you need to come back to the spicy life probably.
I'll be back tomorrow. Do you have a 9 a.m.?
Actually, yes, I do.
I will be back
for you.
First thing
I will
in
get
the morning.
Up at 9 a.m. clearly because I'm here at 9 a.m. 9:30.
Oh Lord, man!
But you're going out there. So the last time that I came, I mean, you got so many programs.
Yeah. Right.
I'm like, I don't know if did I do the Wild and Out show?
No.
I just be on all
where
your,
was I at?
I be on all your
She
stuff.
did LTTA Talk, you guys, which is on the app, Roundtable Talk of 8 women. She was our guest, and it was absolutely phenomenal.
But your, it's easier for us to say, like, this is what I want.
Mm-hmm.
I made you today start with this is who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just as challenging.
So that's where I need to start.
But that's where you got to start. Because oftentimes I have folks, doing the pizza and making the list. And they'll say, okay, I want a man who, has these 5 qualities in the crust. And I want him to treat me this way with the sauce and adore me. And I want him to look this way with the toppings. And so they'll have their little roadmap, but they aren't those things. They aren't the things that they believe make a good person, or they believe they're not doing the treatment.
Yep.
And your pizza and who you believe yourself to be doesn't necessarily mean that that's what the pizza of who you want will look like.
Okay.
There can be some similarities in like what you believe like makes you a good person.
Okay.
But sometimes what will happen with our pizza when we're designing it for who we want and who we're seeking,
it's like what you need.
It's what you need.
Got it.
So like, you may say, I believe a good person is empathetic, but when you map your pizza out for someone, you may be like, I want to prioritize leadership of what makes a good person
over empathy. Right.
And so what I want in a partner is this. And so having that understanding first of this is who I am, then I can work on this is what I need.
Okay. So we don't even need to move on. We need to get back with this is who I am.
Are. Yeah, 1,000%.
And believing it in every environment.
Because then, too, you will be a magnet for somebody who wants that.
Yeah.
So when you're stuttering like this and you're like, I mean, am I empathetic? Am I sympathetic? Am I caring?
Ooh,
like,
Lord.
How are you going to be a magnetic match for someone
that
if
knows
you
themselves,
aren't on that frequency, vibrating that when you step out into the room?
Yes.
What you're going to attract is people who also doubt those qualities versus being a magnet for somebody who adores those qualities and stands firm in that and won't settle for anything less than the qualities that you just said. Now you will be a magnet for that. And that's how we become magnetic, is falling in love with ourselves. So, we hear a lot of rhetoric about like, you got to love yourself. You got to love yourself. The way that you just spoke about yourself did not sound like somebody who's in love with themselves.
Wow.
The way that you spoke about yourself sounds like somebody who is fond and likes themselves.
Wow.
But somebody who is in love with themselves speaks that life into themselves. They project that. They don't care, You know,
what other people think.
Yeah, I don't care if I offend you. I love my hair. I don't, yes, people's feelings are going to get hurt, but people's feelings can't get hurt at the expense of your confidence and your esteem.
For sure.
Because you're not living for them. At the end of the day, they're going to get their purpose made and you still going to be trying to please them.
Yeah. Yep.
So we really have to own who we are, B.
Okay. I'm really walking out of that people pleasing. I've been working through this.
What's the indicators of that? I'm not people pleasing anymore because
I say no. Okay. I set boundaries. I don't overextend myself. I feel like I used to be very like, everybody's my friend. I see a little more clear now. Like I can still be in communication with her, but she can't come to my house. Or she, we won't hang out in this way. Or I'm not going to tell her all of my business about my business ideas and my brands. And I just don't trust her heart yet. I feel like my discernment has heightened a lot more with my boundaries. Yeah. And like we were talking about solitude on another episode. This is great. I need to write all this down and I can't wait to listen back to this episode, to work on this in solitude because I've been growing so much in solitude. Not isolation, but like solitude, like really becoming better. Yeah. Like, but this is a really awakening because it goes back to what I've been working on with validation and people pleasing. Yeah. Which is affecting my confidence.
Yes. Because guess what? People can't be pleased.
Yes.
So if your goal is to make people happy, and happiness is a temporary emotion that we are each responsible for, and you are making it your goal to make everybody happy. Yes. You're always going to be dissatisfied because you can't achieve that. Yes. We're responsible for making ourselves happy first, which is why closed mouths don't get fed. Because I need to make sure if my needs are met, if my mask is on first, then I'll be able to pour into my baby. Then I'll be able to pour into my lover. Then I will be able to pour into my friends. Then I will be able to pour into my work. But if I'm drowning trying to make everybody else happy, that means that I'm put on the back burner.
100%. No. Yeah. I've been there and I'm out of that. And that now I have to do the work for, like you said, the confidence part. The people pleasing and the lack of boundaries has caused me to second guess. People pleasing, lack of boundaries, and outside validation has caused me to second guess who I am when I know who I am.
Yes. And I think I'm going to take it a step further. With the knowing who you are, you will also be clear to identify when someone comes along who tells you, yes, this is who you are and I love who you are because your authentic self is showing up. Versus the fraudulent self who isn't confident, who doesn't really know who they are, who's not clear on that. And when that is tested, you will fall for anything. And so when you become a magnetic match for that person who actually sees you and adores you, now you can really operate and own that. And you want somebody who reminds you of those great things.
100%.
When someone comes along and they tell you that you aren't those things that you just said, you aren't good at discernment. You don't see the light and the God in me. I don't trust your judgment. Bye.
Bye. That simple. Yeah.
But if you're wavering in it, you're just going to believe whatever they tell you.
Yeah. Okay.
So we start with doing the work on self. We start with falling back in love with self. And it's really not pedicures. Falling in love with self.
Right.
Pedicures and face masks
and nail massages. Working on all the toppings. Get to the crust and the sauce.
And I think that like brings a great point up, right? Because I think that we do start with the toppings. When we talk about self-love and falling in love with ourselves, the external does matter. Like, I want to make sure that the things that you just mentioned that you appreciate about yourself with the toppings, that you do keep your skin hydrated, you get your glow facials, you do make sure that, you keep your lips moisturized. Like the things that you said that you love, those are easier things than if I were to ask you, well, let's talk about the things that you said that you like when it comes to a good person. How do we work on the crust? And how do we work on the treatment element? If we have to start tackling those and do behavioral shifts in those, that's a lot more challenging because oftentimes we develop habits and we operate on a daily basis functioning in a certain way. Yeah. So we avoid the things that are harder.
Yeah.
So we had a session in the morning.
We could just stop right now. We don't need to get to my man. We need to come back to.
That'll be another episode.
What I've been talking about on this podcast for months, the validation I've been working through, I'm just glad that I'm glad I'm gonna say I'm honest. I'm honest, I'm accountable, and I'm self-aware. So those are the first steps, you guys. So what I just worked through on this mic with Spicy Madi, she was gonna get to my man, but we don't gotta get to him.
We'll get to the man later because
We'll get to the man later. Because once this is all this,
he will even become clear and it will change, actually.
it will change. It will change what I'm seeking, what I want, all the things. But I want y'all to do this in the comments. On Instagram, if you're on YouTube, wherever you are, even if you're on Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, go to YouTube, shout out Spicy, write the pizza, and don't even write, just write the five things of who you think you are. And I want you to write down how long it took you to come up with those 5 things. Be honest. Set a timer. Whether it was 10 seconds, whether it was like, you girl, I had mine in 2 seconds. I know who I am. Or whether you sat there for 10 minutes or 5 minutes or 20 minutes.
Or you phoned a friend.
Or you phoned a friend. I want to know, are they just splurring, coming out of your mouth, spewing out of your mouth easily? Or was it kind of like me where you're overthinking? Or am I this? Or you can't think of a word? Or it's a little more difficult for you? Put that in the comments. Put the 5 words. And next to the 5 words, put how long it took you to come up with those words. I thought this was going to go a different direction. I really did. I thought I did so much healing. I thought I was healed. Okay, so let's just get this episode.
This is not really quickly, I can't even leave you with that. Healing is a process. So we are never fully healed.
I know.
So
even I thought I was past
as I shared this with you, that does not mean that insecurities don't come up. That doesn't mean that self-doubt doesn't come up.
Yes.
But if you have the roadmap of who you are, you always know who to go back to. Like you can always find your way back. So when we become unrecognizable as life shifts, I can always circle back to, oh my God, if communication or connection is one of my core values in Crust, if I have lost my way, let me go back to connecting with others because that's one of my core values.
Got it.
So you will find your way back and you will know when you're lost because it won't mirror who you believe yourself to be.
I love this.
So we gotta get that compass together.
And I need that emotion wheel because I need better words. So please email me that tonight. Can I Google that? You can use better words. I'm nice. You're empathetic. I'm sweet. You're comforting. I need better words to describe who I am. I'm like, I am just pure-hearted. What does that look like? I'm nervous. Now, I don't know how to say
right
it.
There. That's a feeling. That's a sentiment.
Oh, Lord. So, yes, this was great. I can't wait to just get off the mic and really...
You guys write your characteristics, your way of being. Yeah.
Write it down. Give me 5 of who you think you are. And I want to know how long it took you guys. Did it take 1 second? Did it take half a millisecond? Or did it take a couple days? Did it take
them do a consolidated version, just 5?
Just 5. Just 5. Like the 5 qualifications, who they think they are that make them a good person. So y'all ain't got to do the whole pizza in the comments. But wow, do your pizza in your own time. But in the comments, write down the 5 of who you are. And y'all this was just a little taste of the spicy life. Y'all, she is so amazing. When I say this is right, you back, baby.
I was like, who am
so
I?
proud of you.
I'm not my pizza. I'm hormonal.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
You're like, girl, I know who I am. Yeah.
For a second, I was bland. Okay, now I found my way back.
Okay, list your 5. He's like, I know who I am, baby.
So my belief in what makes a good person is a little crazier. You thought that it was challenging for you when you wanted to call out hardworking. You felt bad about I don't want to say people like legit. Mine is God fearing.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm.
Period. Yep.
If you're not God fearing, I don't know who you obey. I can't trust you.
I don't know what you following.
Honesty.
Okay.
If you, I don't care if you're trying to protect me. I don't care if it's gonna hurt my feelings. I need honesty. Okay. I can always go back to honesty. I need honesty more than I need loyalty. You ain't got to be loyal to me. You just got to be honest about being disloyal.
Wow.
I need honesty. So other element is entertaining. I know that sounds crazy. I do not believe good people are boring. I'm so sorry if you're boring.
Yeah.
But I need entertainment. I need somebody who is willing to be humorous in dull moments, who's willing to check and jive, who's willing to, laugh with me.
Smile. Yeah. all the
even
things.
if it's a horrible story, I need entertainment. That might be the ADHD in me.
Okay.
but I need entertainment.
Okay.
God-fearing, entertainment, honesty, and then I also need leadership. So I believe that I work best with leaders because other women who are leaders pull out the leader in me.
Yeah.
And I am a leader, so I thrive off of that energy.
I love
so
that.
I want leadership in every area of my life. And I also value leadership and believe that makes a good person because then it gives me permission sometimes to be lost. And you're going to help me find my way when you're a leader. And then you also remind me that I'm a leader. So that is one of my core values right there. And then the other one is communication. If you cannot be, and I love a good example of like, are you the sender or the receiver in relationships?
Mm-hmm.
If you're not a great communicator, and by communication, I don't mean somebody who can just speak their mind. By communication, I believe that it's extremely important for you to not only have high comprehension and understanding, but also be really well at delivering a message tailored to your specific audience. And then also be able to receive feedback and resolve conflict in an appropriate manner that's conducive to what we are trying to achieve. So I know that there's not a lot of good communicators in the world. Sorry, we're not compatible. This is who I believe myself to be. And you're not going to get along with me if you aren't those 5 things and you don't appreciate those 5 things about me. Because we are going to be at conflict.
Period.
All the time.
Okay.
If you don't value those things and you can't execute those things.
Okay.
And I own the fact that I believe those things to make a beautiful being and a good human.
Okay.
So I own it and I look for it. I appreciate it. I worship people who value those qualities. But those are my 5.
Okay.
And as you evolve, I do believe that
they
those
can
things
change.
can change.
Yeah. Who you become and how you change.
Right.
My 5 were not the same probably when I was.
I put leadership and you put empathetic, right? I will take the leader killer any day over the empathetic. Whoa, I'm here for you, girl. No. Lead me out of
the dark. Don't cry in here with me.
Don't cry from me, Argentina.
Yeah.
I need you to lead me out. And so, and that can change based on your needs and where you're at. Your pizza can change, you guys. So I want to make that clear that it also can be circumstantial based on the season that you're in. So, and who you believe yourself to be can evolve too. You may say, well, I don't like these 5 things. They're not as great. I want to evolve in these areas. But if you don't know those 5 things, how will you even grow?
Wow. Okay. Do it, you guys. Let's just find self-love together. That's what this is about. Let's try this again. Because I thought I had arrived. Forget the husband. Who are you? Who's the wife? Yeah, let's see you guys one day. Next week. Monday, the audio drops. Tuesday is the YouTube. I don't know what we're going to talk about next week, but it won't be a man. It'll be me. It will be talking about me. Woo! What time you got tomorrow?
You're here tomorrow?
Yes, I am here tomorrow.
You meet up on Zoom or do you want to do it in person?
Baby, I need you to hold my hand so I can cry.
I got you. Let's do after my workout.
Okay, great. I will see her tomorrow and I will be, she's going to be like, who are you? I still don't know. You tell me. Affirm me. I love you guys so much. Oh my gosh, it's so good. If you want more of Spicy, go to the LTTA app. Hello. You guys, I'm going to try to get her on there more. I have so many show ideas. We're just going to produce stuff and throw stuff on the wall and see what sticks.
We do need to
let's see what the people want. Let's just, I know. The first season going to be, who are you? The second season going to be, who is he? So we still on who are you? I need to get back that book.
Season 3 will be like you getting married to him, and then season 4 will be the babies and how you teaching the kids.
I love
because look, we're gonna do a whole series on your life.
Oh my gosh, babe! Just know I'm trying. Just know I am trying to become the best version of self. So you not out there stressed about me, okay? So you keep working on you, and I'm gonna keep working on me. I love you, husband, wherever you at.
Yes.
But give me a second so I can find self. Bye, y'all. I love y'all. See y'all next week. Spicy Mighty. Let's try this again. My girl, the magnetic matchmaker. Hit her up and join the spicy life because as y'all can see, we all got a lot of work to do. I hope y'all really was struggling with me during this because I don't want to be the only one struggling, right? I don't want y'all on the other side thinking I'm the only crazy one. No, struggle with me. How long did it take you to write them 5? 20 minutes. Thank you.
You are not alone, B. I know it's challenging for some people. And they're gonna comment on mine spicy. I can't believe you chose those 5 things. Yeah, sorry, we're not compatible.
And that's what I believe.
That's who I believe myself to be.
I know that's right. See, when you know, you just know. I love you guys. Thank you. Bye. Love y'all. See y'all next week.